A huge Zelda leak has just happened, and we talk about Zelda newcomers for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Block content.
What's happening, my block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. And today's episode is all in theme of The Legend of Zelda. Of course, a franchise very well represented in Smash Bros. Already, but some fans are thinking that it might need a little bit more expanding. And also, well, we have a leak to break down today that actually talks about a whole lot more Zelda potentially coming our way to Nintendo Switch, because one of my favorite games in the series, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, is potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch through this leaked sort of website page, and we get to break everything down in today's video. And of course also the Zelda newcomers that you guys have sent my way that you really want to see in Super Smash Bros. And I've got a couple of favorites over here. There's a lot of different eras of Zelda to kind of choose characters from, because of course every single game is sort of a different timeline, has a different art style, has different types of characters in there. And of course a lot of people's favorites, range alongside, the Skull Kids of the world and then Tetra. But there's also some deep cut characters that I can't wait to explore with you guys. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And of course, I have been answering many of you guys' questions about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and new fighters in our show Question Block, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making YouTube videos? Well, whatever you can think of, send your question through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live on the show in our next Question Blocked episode. And of course, we're starting this brand new show on Blocked Content. It's taking a little bit more time than I expected to actually fully develop, so I'm taking you guys' suggestions for games. So let me know what game you want us to play in a Let's Play show very soon, and maybe we'll actually play the game that you've suggested. Alright guys, let's get into the main topic of today, and what I kind of want to talk about first is this Skyward Sword leak. I mean, it's all sorts of interesting because of course we are expecting a lot of Mario content for this year, but then what could next year bring, right? Will it be more of a year of The Legend of Zelda with Breath of the Wild 2 also coming? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is to watch and wait what happens with the next Nintendo Direct that is potentially even coming in this month. Yes, as we actually reported on yesterday, there might be an indication that this Direct will actually happen, but not before the 22nd of August. That's what a lot of people are saying. Now, there's actually a listing of this game, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, for Nintendo Switch on Amazon, which a lot of people are talking about this, and it's pretty crazy. So it just says the price of about £70, and then it says the item has not yet been released, but it does totally exist on the page there. People have visited it and sent me screenshots. And yes, it also has the switches, of course, the Joy-Con controllers on the banner over there. There's no image around here, but what we speculate that this is, well, it's just along the lines of the Wind Waker HD release, or of course the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD release. What would basically mean is it's the same game. Maybe there's an extra mode attached to it. Actually, the leak that we discussed yesterday had the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword in it and talked about some sort of hero mode. Now, I've played through that game and there's already a hero mode in there. So I'm really curious what that could mean. Is there some sort of new, even, harder difficulty coming? Will there be a little bit more freedom? Will there be less hand holding? Stuff like that is what I would really like to see in that game, because it was a lot of fun. It was very linear and it was a little bit too easy in some parts. And even for me, I'm not a hardcore gamer in any sense of the word. I play a lot of Super Smash Brothers. I play a lot of mainline Mario games, but I wouldn't be considered like an incredibly pro gamer, and even I didn't have any trouble at all with The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So I'm really curious how they will up the ante for this game, of course. And one of the reasons this HD remaster would be really cool is because the art style in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is one of my favorite art styles ever used in a Zelda game. I totally love the Wind Waker. I love the original on the GameCube a little bit better in terms of graphical style than the HD one. It kind of sort of didn't mesh as well as the original did. And I also totally love what they did with Majora's Mask, and especially the remakes on 3DS. Those look incredible. I mean, there's a lot of Zelda games with incredible art styles. Just look at the most recent one, Breath of the Wild. That is insane. But I think that, yes, Skyward Sword is something very special and very different for The Legend of Zelda, because, of course, this watercolor art style, I think, will translate incredibly well to something like HD, and I think it might have already been sort of modeled for that. There have been a lot of mods or people that did the game on PC that have made it look incredible, because the game has this sort of unique selling point where if things are out of focus, they become a little bit more blurry, but blurry in a sort of a painting artistic style sense. And I think that that is one of the coolest things that they've ever done with the Zelda art style. So I would love to see that in HD. And of course, having a game like The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword be on the go, that'd be even more awesome. So I'm very curious if you guys think that this is actually, coming. I mean, it could just be a listing that doesn't really go anywhere, but it kind of does feel like this might be a 2021 game for Nintendo, right? I mean, it kind of feels like the rest of this year might be surprise announcements of some Super Mario 3D collection stuff, and then next year we're moving on to the Breath of the Wild stuff, and earlier in the year, of course, I think Skyward Sword would make total sense, right? That 1-2 punch that they also, of course, did with Wind Waker HD and then The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, that was incredibly smart. They'll probably do something like that again. So yeah, put me down in the comments, let me know what you guys think of Skyward Sword HD. Is something like that coming, and what do you want to see added to the game? What is a new dimension that you want to see to that game? Now, in that same vein, a lot of you guys, of course, have sent me your ideal picks for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Fighter Pass number 2, and it's a very big possibility that we might actually be seeing more first-party characters. So that means characters from Nintendo themselves, Nintendo franchises, and some that might already be represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course, one of which was actually included in the first Fighter's Pass, being Byleth. Yes, Byleth is, of course, the only character thus far from a franchise that is already represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so that makes it pretty unique, and I actually think that something like that will happen in this pass as well. Now, already for people, this is going to be a little bit of a letdown, because a lot of people only want the game to just have simply characters from third parties, right? These huge reveals that are essentially just Doomslayer or Crash Bandicoot or Spyro or Ryu Hayabusa, characters that are from outside companies that are being brought to Smash Bros. For the first time. And of course, Reggie, when he was still with Nintendo at the Game Awards a couple of years ago, has already said before the announcement of Joker that they are planning to introduce new universes, new worlds to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that was the main goal. So yeah, I do think that it is highly likely that we will still get third-party characters, but if we get first-party characters and they're not from games that are brand new to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so like ARMS or something like that, then I think Zelda has a huge chance, because of course there is a new game coming. Breath of the Wild 2 is actually in development, so we could potentially be seeing characters like the champions in there. I think that would be really cool. Of course, a lot of people have been paying a lot of attention to Majora's Mask as well, with Skull Kid being there. Of course, the character is already an assist trophy, but now even the spirit rule has been broken with Min Min, so maybe the assist trophy rule can be broken for, well, let's say Skull Kid and maybe Waluigi. So I also think that it would be really cool to have other characters, other versions of characters, like maybe Zelda as Toon Zelda. That would be really fun. It would be really simple Echo Fighter to add. I totally love that skin. A lot of people also like Tetra, and I think that there's something to be said for that character. I don't know if a Tetra like, Echo Fighter for Sheik would it potentially work. I don't really know if that would be a thing, but I would definitely like to see more Zelda newcomers to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, especially if they picked them from different games. What I love about Ultimate is that all these Zelda characters could potentially be from different games. Young Link being maybe even, Majora's Mask, right? And then Ganondorf would be Ocarina of Time, Link is Breath of the Wild, Zelda is A Link to the Past, and so on. I think that it would be really cool to have brand new franchises for Zelda being revealed, right? And there's a lot of bad guys that you can think about from like Twilight Princess or other games. So I'm generally curious if you guys have any like bosses or characters from Zelda that you would like to see as playable characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Maybe we don't even have to look that far. Maybe we can just look at Hyrule Warriors and see what awesome stuff they put up there, right? So I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, what Zelda character would you add to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? And as for a previous comment question winner, our answer actually comes to us for our user, Shane Williams, saying, I think that a Nintendo Direct in August is possible because we had a Direct in March, June, and July. And also, Nintendo did say that we will have 3 more Nintendo Directs soon. So it's about time for a Nintendo Direct Mini, or not to be shown. I'm putting my bets on it happening next week. If it was up to me, I'd have a normal big direct starting with a Smash character reveal with the second Fighters Pass Volume 2 character being Geno from Super Mario RPG, or if not, I would like the next character to be either Crash or Rayman. Then with a tease of another Fighter series rep like ARMS, but this time it's from the Sonic series. Then obviously we have a Super Mario 3D All-Stars reveal and then Breath of the Wild 2 and all of the big things that we need info on or just dying to see then, but man could dream. All that we have to do is wait and hope if Nintendo is going to step out of the shadows and give us what we want. If we don't have a direct in August, they will definitely have one in September. So thank you so much, Shane. Of course, thank you so much for commenting all the time. It's super fun to see your name out there. And yes, you are mentioning Crash and Rayman over there. And of course, Geno, big characters that, even Geno is supposed to be third party. So I feel like people really want that in the Fighters Pass. So talking about all that first party stuff in this video does make me kind of appreciate how cool it is that we still have a lot of third-party characters to go through that are fan favorites. And even though it is the ultimate game, it is beautiful. There's so much in there. We're not there yet. I think that Sakurai can still pull a little bit of a hat trick and add some characters that will make the internet explode. So yes, I'm super curious what you guys think of all this. Thank you so much for sending in your comments. These are so much fun to read through. And of course, a huge shout out to your latest Patreon supporters. And when I see you guys on Patreon, being so nice, sending me messages about the channel. And of course, I would like to do everything for you guys that you guys are supporting the show. If you want to support it as well, please go to patreon.com/blockedcontent because there's a bunch of incredible rewards there and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner, where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya!